Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Sara Hamdani from Zoology Department of J.A.T Art, Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon. Today in this video we will be studying about Hardy-Weinberg Law and its equilibrium. So we will start with Hardy-Weinberg Law. Hardy and Weinberg, they are two people. One is G.H. Hardy, who is English mathematician, and another one is W. Weinberg, who is a German physician. In 1903, they discovered a principle concerning the gene frequencies in a population, and this principle came to be known as Hardy-Weinberg Law. Before 1908, it was Mendelian era, in which every mating and the process was controlled process, either in plants or in animals. By controlled mating, Mendel showed certain ratios which were fixed every time, like 3:1 of monohybrid cross. But in random mating among the population, it showed different gene frequencies, resulting to different phenotypes. Hardy and Weinberg showed that there is an equilibrium between frequencies of genes in a population. The relative frequency of each allele tends to remain constant generation after generation if there is no change by natural selection or mutation or migration. This mathematical relation is now called Hardy-Weinberg theorem or law. This law actually states that relative frequency of different genes in a large panmictie population remains constant after random mating, generations after generations, in absence of mutation, selection, genetic drift, and gene flow. Now, what is panmictic? Panmictic is mating pattern that leads to random union of gametes from individual. That means every individual has potential to mate with every another individual present in that particular population. This is called random mating or panmictic population. Okay, so here we complete Hardy-Weinberg law, but now we will see what are some of the conditions for Hardy-Weinberg population to occur or to apply Hardy-Weinberg law. So conditions for applicability of Hardy-Weinberg law. First one is population should be infinitely large, means it cannot be applied on small population. Population should be very large. Infinitely means beyond infinity, very large population should be there. Second one is there should be random mating, that we studied. If population is panmictic population, mating will be random. So this is another condition for applicability of Hardy-Weinberg law. Third one is there should not be any selective advantage or any genotype to any genotype, so that all the genotypes of population gets equal chance to survive. That there should not be any kind of natural selection, it simply means. Okay, in natural selection a particular genotype is favored for survival. It should not occur in it should not occur in that population for applicability of Hardy-Weinberg law. The last condition is population should be free from mutation, migration and natural selection. As I said, there should not be mutation, there should not be migration, either inward migration or outward migration, and natural selection. If these conditions are present, then we can apply Hardy-Weinberg law, by which we can find that the relative frequency of allele will remain constant even after several generations. Moving forward, we will see how it is represented mathematically. So, mathematical representation of Hardy-Weinberg law is p square plus 2pq plus q square equals to 1. P, Q, what are these alphabets representing? P is the frequency of homozygous dominant genotype and Q is the frequency of recessive genotype. So P square is homozygous dominant and Q square is homozygous recessive. Now what is 2pq? 2pq is frequency of heterozygous gene. This way my Hardy-Weinberg law is represented. We can say some of these frequencies represent 100% of populations. Okay, the means frequency of dominant allele plus frequency of recessive allele will be equal to 1, which is represented mathematically as p plus q equals to 1, whereas where p is frequency of dominant allele and q is the frequency of recessive allele. This is all the mathematical representation of Hardy-Weinberg law. Next, we will see significance of Hardy-Weinberg law. So Hardy and Weinberg law was not appreciated initially like every other laws, but there are two scientists named R.A. Fisher and Sewall Wright. They, after the discovery of biometrical genetics, they studied Hardy-Weinberg law, and this was appreciated later because earlier era mathematics were not that much involved in genetics and biological parts. Very minimal addition, subtraction kind of mathematics involved in biological or scientific studies. So first significance of Hardy-Weinberg law will be it measures evolutionary change. What does it mean? See, we have seen the conditions like mutation, migration, natural selection. This should not be present in population for applicability of Hardy-Weinberg law. But this is all a hypothetical condition because every population has these effects present in it. Hence, there is change in evolution. So Hardy-Weinberg law measures that change. Okay. Next one is it helps to evaluate the real genetic structure of a population over time. Means we can study what was genetic gene equilibrium, whether it was maintained or not, what was the number of exact particular gene or allele in that population, and then how it is changing. What is it adding new gene or subtracting new gene? All these studies are possible from Hardy-Weinberg law. Third significance is from the point of view of medical genetics. Medical geneticists can use Hardy-Weinberg law to calculate probability of human mating that may result in defective offspring. What happens in medical genetics? They calculate what is the probability of mating of particular mating by considering their gene makeup. Okay, this is another significance, and the last significance will be this law is useful in determining whether the number of harmful mutations in a population is increasing as a result of radiation from industrial process, medical techniques and fallout, or it is decreasing. Okay, like we see, we can study whether new gene is added or subtracted. We can also see if harmful mutations are occurring in resulting in addition of some new genes in the population, which can be the result of industrial processes like radiations and some technologies that is introduced in the environment, which later affects the human population. This was all about Hardy-Weinberg law. We will conclude this lecture over here. Thank you.